It's final budget hearing time, Wednesday, September 13th at 5:01. The invocation will be by our own Stan Bowling, the planning director, and Pledge of Allegiance will be by Gary Wheeler. Please rise.
Let's pray. Lord God, we acknowledge right now that everything belongs to you, but you've made us stewards of many things. And we ask, Lord, that you would give our leaders not only the wisdom, but the perspective to make the decisions they make tonight, to use the things that are really yours in the long run in the best way possible. We ask your blessing upon what comes from this budget, that it be things that are good, that it be things that glorify you in some way. We ask this now in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Join me, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. I hope that everyone can find a seat. See a few over this way, and there's some down the front over here. Fire codes say you all have to be sitting down.
Or they need.
Please take a seat somewhere. Close enough. Okay, next is the budget overview by County Administrator Joseph A. Baird. Joe, ad valorem funds.
Good evening. Our proposed budget for the 2006-2007 fiscal year is $472,420,328. That's about $25 million above the previous year, or 5.66%. In the new proposed budget, we're asking for 66 full-time positions, of which 36 positions are Board of County Commissioners and 30 positions are constitutional officers. The total cost of these positions are about $3.3 million. We have included personnel cost increases in personnel costs of about 4.4 above that. 2.4 is COLA raises. 773,700 is health insurance. 1.3 million is a Florida retirement system. Also, another reason for the increase is because of the jail expansion. The annualized cost is 4.3 million, but that's only 1.9 million of this increase. We have fuel cost increases of about 1.4 million. Increases due to the administration building and the EOC operations are about 765 million, and property insurance increases of about 2 million overall. In the budget, I guess the most important thing when you look at our budget, how does it affect our public? We're not asking for any utility increases. The only increase that we have in this budget is a $1 increase in a round of golf for our capital improvement. I thought that had gone in effect this year, but we didn't put it in effect this year. We're going to put it in effect next year. As far as the budget, I think the most important part, our solid waste rates are down. The most important part are our taxing funds, and I think we should just go ahead and go into the general fund and go from there.
Okay.
The proposed general fund millage is 3.1914. That's 9.94% above rollback. It's 9.7% below the current rate. The overall county general fund budget is $85,892,375. This is roughly about $7.9 million above the current year. The reason for the increases in the general fund are that there's 38 full-time positions in the general fund. Of those, 38 full-time, 30 of them are constitutionals, and that accounts for $1.7 million. The BCC departments are at $1.6 million, or 8.85%, in the entire budget. The COLA step raises under the Board of County Commissioners are $504,000. The sheriff's increases in salary is $1,006,000. Health insurance increases in the general fund are $414,000. Retirement increases due to Florida retirement rates changing is $773,000. The constitutionals overall in the general fund are up $5.3 million. Also, once again, the jail expansion accounts for another $1.9 million, and operating costs for the county administration building are $765,000. And there's also increases due to the CRA districts created by Sebastian Felsmere. Sebastian's went up $119,000 this year. Felsmere went up $34,000. And that's just a quick overview.
Okay, you've heard the administrator read the general fund. Let me repeat what he said briefly. Proposed millage is 3.1914, 9.94% above rollback, and the proposed budget is $85,892,375. I'm going to open this for public comment. Anyone from the public like to talk about the general fund? Yes, Robert.
Bob Johnson, representing the Taxpayers Association. With this budget, the Taxpayers Association feels that it's not unrealistic to ask for a minimal of a 1% reduction in the ad valorem taxes of the budget. This would account for a reduction of approximately $4 million. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing portion. Ask my colleagues, is there consider any proposed changes? Don't have any proposed
Yes.
change? Okay. Gary?
I think it was last week or the week before, when Sheriff Raymond was in here, and I questioned about the 12% increase to the sheriff's employees, and was informed that that was a across-the-board 12% increase to all employees. And I think that puts us in a very uncomfortable situation with the rest of the county employees. We have many employees in this county that are not law enforcement, and when the 12% was recommended and we voted on it a month or two ago, that was done to support, in my mind, the law enforcement and corrections, where we're losing people, and corrections officers have always been hard to obtain, and to put them on an even keel with the other law enforcement agencies in the surrounding area. That being the case, I'm going to make a motion, or I guess the motion would be appropriate now or in the next step, but to bring the sheriff's budget back from 12 to 8%, which would be $681,809 reduction. With that, I spent time this afternoon with Jason and with Mr. Baird, and I know they had some conversation with Mr. Harry, Terry's last name, Hall, Mr. Hall. And the feeling is that we can still, or the sheriff's office can still give the 12% raises to the law enforcement and the corrections divisions within the sheriff's office. And then the rest of the situation, as far as raises would go, would fall in when we complete the pay study countywide, where comparable employees are being paid comparably, being paid the same, similarly across the. And thank you, Wesley. No problem. And that would include, hopefully, all of the constitutional officers. So that is my motion, that we reduce the sheriff's budget by $681,809.
I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Hearing no second, I'll declare we have no motion. The motion dies for lack of a second. Are there any other motions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution.
Are there any other proposed changes to the budget before I accept that motion? No other changes? Okay. And we need a motion to approve the millage. Go ahead.
Just did.
I'll second that.
A motion to approve the millage rate and adopt a millage resolution. All in favor signify by
Under
saying.
discussion,
Under discussion, sorry.
I'd like to reiterate that even though we are helping probably in the neighborhood of a third of the employees of the sheriff's office, there is a considerable number of employees throughout this county under our budget and under the other 4 constitutional officers' budget. And I think this is blatantly unfair to the remaining employees. Public safety is a high-risk job, and I support the 12% to them, but it's just not the right way to do business. We got a lot of employees here, and we're treating some of them a whole lot differently than we're treating the other ones.
You may be right, Gary, and I'm sure there are other county employees that feel left out of some of this, but they too can come to us and talk about their salaries. And I would like to make them all equal, and I think we're talking about having a fat salary study coming up soon anyway, and maybe that'll take care of it.
Okay.
But I think these people should keep what we gave them. Sheriff, did I see your hand up?
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. And I'd just like to clarify, Mr. Wheeler, Commissioner Wheeler, this was never presented as only a 12% increase to our sworn personnel. At the time the budget was presented, we made the statement that we had done not only a study with the other law enforcement agencies, but within the county agency also. So it was never presented in that light, and that it was voted on in that manner. So,
Never presented in what light, Sheriff?
in the light that this was only for sworn personnel.
I asked you a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I said I've heard rumors that this included your employees across the board, a 12% raise in these chambers, and you stood at that podium and you said that's correct?
That is
12%
absolutely
across the
untrue,
board.
Mr. Wheeler. What I stated to you was that it was across the board, that it was not only for law enforcement. And this was
I
a
think that's what
study
I
that
just
we
said.
did. I'd be happy if you want to pull the minutes of this meeting, but
We can
of
pull
that
the-
meeting, but it was not.
We can pull the DVD,
That would be fine.
and we'll do
I would be
that.
happy.
Mr. Chairman, if I can make a comment, please.
Yes, you may.
And I think I was the one that brought this motion forward back when we discussed this maybe a month ago. I believe it was a unanimous vote at the time,
I believe it was.
and I continue to vow that it's a unanimous vote. At the time, I made the comment that I might lose an election because of this. My opponent stated I did this to gain votes. Didn't do it for that reason. I think the reason is out here for these people to carry a gun and work in public safety. I will continue to do that all day long. Sheriff, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You made a motion last week to cut the budget by $5 million.
Just to see what you're going to do.
Come on, guys, stop your bickering. We have a motion on the floor to approve the millage rate. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
4-1, Gary dissenting. Need a motion?
You need a motion to approve the dollar amount, Mr. Chairman? Or, no, I'm sorry, make a motion to approve the millage rate now?
No, the millage rate gets approved before the budget
Okay, then make a motion to approve the dollar amount?
Dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Okay, I move to approve the budget amount of $85,892,375 and adopt the budget resolution.
I'll second
Did
that.
that really well.
Thank you.
Have a motion and a second. Any
Practicing since
discussion?
third grade.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
4-1. Thank you. Okay,
Next, we have the MSTU. The proposed millage is 1.1336, and that is equal to rollback. The overall budget is $31,594,558. That's $4.160,858 above last year. And we don't have to go into the reasons because we got to roll back.
okay. We'll open the meeting for public comments. Anyone want to discuss the MSTU millage? All right, that's closed. Do we have any considered changes for the budget? Hearing none, we need a motion
Make a motion to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Need another motion?
Make a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Transportation Fund, Joe?
Next, we have the Transportation Fund. The proposed budget is $18,119,253. Current year budget is $16,132,479. That's about $2 million increase or 12%. There is no millage in this transportation fund, even though it gets 72% of its funding from the MST and the general fund, which are tax funds. The reason for the increases are there's 9 new positions, which account for about $500,000. COLA step increases are $356,000. Health insurance is $83,000, and the increase in the Florida retirement rate is roughly $100,000. GIS implementation's $140,000, and that's the reasons for the increase.
Okay, any public comments on the Transportation Fund? Do we have any proposed changes?
I move we, if you're ready for the next one.
Go ahead.
I move we approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Emergency Services District, Joe?
The proposed millage is 1.7639. That's 9.25% above rollback. It's about 11% below current. The proposed emergency services budget is $30,063,673. That's about $2.6 million above the current year, or 8%. The reasons for the increase are the health insurance is $109,000. Repairs and replacements and upgrades to the fire stations are around $2.5 million. Cost of living step program, $719,000. We also eliminated one supervisor position in this budget, which saved about $100,000.
All right, are there any public comments on the Emergency Services District budget? Are there any considered proposed changes from anyone? We need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Make a motion to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Environmentally sensitive land acquisition.
This is to pay for the land acquisition bonds. The proposed millage is .1406. That's a decrease of .0383. Rollback does not apply because it's a bond issue. The proposed budget is $2,423,262.
Are there any public comments on the environmentally sensitive land acquisition? Do we have any changes proposed? We need a motion.
I move to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Need another motion?
Move to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have the $50 million land acquisition bonds. This is the first year that this will be in effect. It was voted on by the voters. The millage rate is .2702. It's for the debt service. The total dollar amount is $4,597,671.
Are there any comment from the public on the land acquisition bonds? Does anyone propose any changes? Need a motion.
Move to approve the millage rate and adopt the millage resolution.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Next, I have to announce
We need a motion on the,
Move to approve the dollar amount and adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
moved and second on the dollar amount. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Go ahead, Joe.
Next, I have to announce the proposed aggregate millage. There doesn't have to be a vote on this. The proposed aggregate is 5.3622. It is 8.7% above rollback. Next, we have the solid waste district budget. The solid waste district budget, the WGU rate is going to be $46.50 for residential, or $74.40 for a house. And the commercial WGU rate, which is a ton of garbage, will be $31.41. The readiness to use charge will be $20.02. And all these rates are down from last year. The proposed budget is $12,231,100. That is a decrease of $693,668 from last year's.
Thank you, Joe. Are there any comments from the public on the solid waste disposal district budget? Does anyone have any proposed changes? Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution, approve the non-ad valorem tax and the volume residential and commercial waste generation unit charges and ready-to-use fee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We need another motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Just step out for a minute, I'll vote.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have the non-ad valorem assessment charges. They're mainly street lighting districts or MSBU's. They're all per parcel acre charges. The first one is the Vere Lakes Estates MSBU. It's $19. The East Gifford Stormwater MSBU, that's $15. All the rest are street lighting districts. Gifford is $21, Laurelwood $18, Rockridge $13, Vero Highlands $23, Porpoise Point $15, Laurel Court $25, Terra Linda $24, Vero Shores $21, Exora Park $19, Raw Ponciana $28, Roseland Road $2, Whispering Pines $19, Moorings $14, Walker's Glen $25, Vero Lakes $38.
There's Glendale Lakes, Joe.
I'm sorry, Glendale Lakes, I'm sorry, $38, and Florilton Beach $29.
Are there any comments from the public on these items? Does anyone have any changes they wish to make? Need a
Make a motion to adopt the budget resolution.
Have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have the non-ad valorem budgets. The proposed budgets are, first is the Housing Authority. It's $222,422. The Special Revenue Funds, $151,070,108. Other Debt Service Funds, $1,244,063. Capital Projects, $58,124,480. Enterprise Funds, $51,761,565. Internal Service Funds, $25,075,798.
Are there any comments from the public? We have any changes to propose? We need a motion.
Move to adopt the budget resolution.
Second.
We have a motion to adopt the budget resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I think that wraps up our final budget discussions, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.